Welcome to Sovereign Tarot. Maybe you came here to escape the craziness of the world, or you're just feeling a little bit scared about what's happening out there, and you decided to turn inward and possibly turn to God or Spirit or your higher self to find answers. Well, that's what I'm here for, is to help you to do that. And I just want to start off with a quote from the movie Creed. And the quote is, "See this guy staring back at you? That's your toughest opponent. Every time you get in the ring, that's who you're going against. I believe that in the ring, and I do believe that in life." And that was still Sylvester Stallone in Creed, and he was talking about the guy staring back at him in the mirror. And really, that's what this is all about. So this is to help you to uncover all of the parts of you that are working against you, and to kind of take them back, take your power back, and learn to be loving, compassionate to yourself. Learn to be your own mirror, your own mother, and your own guide or coach. So that's how I started out. I was really scared during COVID. There was a lot going on for me. I had a young child in kindergarten, and I was expected to watch him while I worked and learned 2 new computer programs, one for my job teaching, one for my job as a therapist, and I was going crazy. And I was very scared of the internet. So that's when I turned to A Course in Miracles, which has been my guide to freeing myself, and tarot. Tarot was something that I also turned to and helped me to basically follow the yellow brick road back home. And I freed myself from a 25-year marriage, and I freed myself from a career as a marriage and family therapist. Those 2 things were no longer serving me and were actually hurting me. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to do Sundays will be a collective reading, and I am in the United States, and so this reading is going to reflect what's happening in the collective in the United States, but probably a lot of other countries too, because I think we're all going through some similar things. So I'm going to start all my readings with A Course in Miracles. It'll be the first one, it'll be for the whole week. So every sign will get the same reading for that whole week. And then I'll switch it the next week. So we're going to start with Lesson 1 from A Course in Miracles. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Now look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This sign does not mean anything. This shadow does not mean anything. That person does not mean anything. So, and don't be thinking about these messages. We don't think about them. We just kind of let them settle into us, because thinking does not help in A Course in Miracles. Just let it settle into you. It will guide you. It's in your spirit will just take those lessons. It already knows them, and it's just gonna take hold in you. And what I found was that before I even had the next day's reading, it came to me like in my sleep. So in the morning I would wake up with whatever the reading was, and I hadn't even read it. My spirit was ahead of me, or God, my higher self. The next thing that I like to do is a little prayer from these Divine Beloved Oracle cards, just to kind of set a good intention. So I'm going to pick a card from here, and I'm just going to ask my higher self, or God, or Spirit, to give us back the highest reading and what could help us all during these challenging times. I'm not feeling them challenging right now because I'm more outside of them, and I've found a higher ground. Yes, I still live in the real world. I'm not running away from anything. I'm just learning to live in a higher place and a peaceful place. And you can do that too. Your spirit wants that for you. So we got two. Oh, these were good. Attachment and relax. So I release all attachments. Change me, divine beloved, into one who trusts that the perfect relationship always arrives on time. Let me feel worthy and deserving of love. And relax. I receive all blessings. Oh, beloved, change me into one who knows how to relax completely, sleep deeply, and receive all the blessings of every moment exactly as it presents itself with ease and gratitude. Okay, so that is part of the practice, is recognizing everything you see as spirit or God. So everything you see in life is a message to you, and it reflects back how aligned you are or how out of alignment you are. And when I say alignment, I mean love, unity, and following your highest calling. Okay, so I like to do, especially in these Sunday collective readings, I'm going to do an archetype card, because these are the old stories that we're working with in our society that we're letting go of or learning the highest lesson of. So I find it very helpful to look at these, because it helps to know what's going on and make sense of it, so that you're not down in the swamp, like feeling like you're part of it. Because there is a part of you that's part of it if you haven't healed your own stories. But as you heal your own stories, you get to, wow, you get to let go of this stuff. It's not yours anymore, and you get to see a higher perspective. Destroyer. The light attributes are releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. Okay, so that's a lot of what you're seeing out there. That's why it looks so scary, is that the old systems, the old control systems, the ego systems are being destroyed. And underneath them is going to be the true essence. And in this country, we had some really good high intentions, but we were in a time where we were not practicing what we preached. And we're now coming into a higher alignment of that. But it means like we have to let go of a lot of these things that are not built on a solid foundation. The shadow attributes are intoxication with destructive power, that's the ego and power, destroying others' dreams or potential. So that's what we're working with now. Releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So that's why it looks so scary out there. I'm trying to make it so you can see these, but I might have to get a new camera in order for that to happen. I think I'm going to. I was just trying now for how we could do it. Okay. And we got a couple more. So we got Goddess, the feminine, and actually that's what's happening. The feminine is coming in. The feminine has been suppressed, pushed down, and the masculine has been like basically what we see, like in our culture, what we value, what we see, what we try, what we strive to be. But it's basically annihilated the feminine, the goddess. And so that's what's coming back and basically burning down all these structures that don't work anymore. They're not working for us. So it's out of balance, and that's why this needs to happen. The light attribute is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. And the shadow attribute is exploitation of the female nature and form. See, so she's coming back with a vengeance, but not really. It's just out of balance. So that's what it looks like right now. But if you are going through an awakening, that it does, we'll talk about that later. Prostitute. So this is another energy that we're working with, another story that we're working with. Accentuates the challenge of surviving. So we're dealing with survival stories rather than thriving stories. A lot of our attachment wounds and old stories of our ancestors are all about survival. And we're trying to move into a time of thriving, and that's living from spirit, incorporating the feminine, the balance between the masculine and the feminine. The shadow attribute places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. That's so much of what we're seeing right now. Placing material considerations and security above self-empowerment. And that's what that you may be trying to free yourself from. I think that's the new movement. That's where I am in my journey, freeing myself from these control systems and creating heaven on earth. And that's individual for all of us. Like, we all have an idea of what heaven on earth will be. It'll all connect in the end, but we are bringing it to light. We're bringing it to life. As we awaken to the illusion of the ego being the only thing, is basically what the awakening is. As we awaken to that, we discover our power and our ability to co-create with the divine. Okay, so seeker, you're probably a seeker if you're here. And the light attribute is a thirst for wisdom and truth wherever you are. The shadow attribute is an inability to commit to a path once found. And I was struggling with that for a while until I freed myself from the idea that I had to, like, I was really like in survival mode. And once I freed myself from that, I realized what I wanted to do. And it's this. Okay, so those are our archetype cards that we're working with. Destroyer, Goddess, Prostitute, and Seeker. And we're going to just do a... I like to use the Light Seers Tarot because it's the least scary to me. And I think maybe other people too. It gives you a light side and a shadow side. And I think that there's nothing scary here. In case you're scared of the tarot. Just so you know... a lot of religions created this fear around tarot and other ways that we can connect with spirit or God, because they wanted us to go through them, and they wanted to have the control and the power. So they made us scared of using these methods to access spirit or God. So if you're feeling afraid of tarot, just ask yourself if maybe that's why. And if you're really against it, then, you don't want to, maybe you don't want to be here. But I just ask you to ask yourself that, what do you think about that? Or if you don't like to use tarot, how do you communicate with spirit or God? Okay, so in my readings that I'm going to do during the week, I think I'm going to do the traditional Celtic cross readings. But today, for the Sunday readings, I'm just going to get whatever cards come up. So what do we need to see in regard to what's happening in the world right now, particularly in the United States? And what is our role? Where is our power? Where are our blocks? What cards want to come out, and what story do you want to tell us? Okay. We have the Knight of Wands, and this one was upside down. So I read the shadow side, but I read the light side too. The Two of Cups, and that was upside down, and the Empress. Okay. So the Knight of Wands. We're accessing our power. So there might be a little fear of your power. And that's what is basically here. Fear of stepping into your power. The Two of Cups. Also fear of union. Fear that a fierce need to be independent, and fear of union or losing yourself. And then the Empress. The Empress wants to create life. The Empress wants to be creative. She wants to step into her creative power. So that's right side up. So this is stronger than anything, but these are a couple of what's blocking you from getting there. So we're going to turn them right side up so that we can feel that power, feel that fire, maybe play some drums, get in touch with your power, connect with your root chakra. And we're going to turn the Two of Cups right side up And just look at that card for a minute and just connect with that. What is something that you're not afraid to unite with? Something or someone. Connect with that. Feel your connection with whatever that is. A person, an animal, a place, nature. Feel your oneness with that. Okay, so we're going in a good direction. What do you need to let go of in order to step into your power and to let go of the fear of uniting with something greater than you? So I'm just going to leave you with that. And hopefully you will join me during the week. Tomorrow, Monday, I'll be reading Pisces and Aquarius. And then I'll just be doing 2 per day. So we'll start with Pisces and Aquarius tomorrow. And hopefully I can get myself maybe a camera so that you could see better the cards. So thank you for joining me on this journey down the yellow brick road where there's no place like home. Coming back to yourself.